The Frying Pan Arkansas project was envisioned as a way to improve the quality of life for the Arkansas River Basin by bringing in a new source of water for cities and farms. The project always had a recreation component, which was seen as camping, boating, and fishing at the project's large reservoirs: Rudai, Turquoise, Twin Lakes, and Pueblo. As water in the Arkansas River was more closely managed, that expanded to include rafting, boating, and fishing. Whether it's the frozen beauty of snow and ice, the placid mirror of water on a lake, or the excitement of rushing rapids in a river, people are drawn to the adventure that is water. Southeastern Colorado Water Conservancy District Board member Greg Felt describes how the concept of recreation has evolved over the history of the project.
I think that recreation at that time was probably perceived as flat water recreation on lakes. River rafting was, in this part of the world, was in its infancy.
The development of the Voluntary Flow Management Program in the early 1990s has created a gold medal fishery and world-class boating on the same stretch of the Arkansas River between the reservoirs in Lake County and Pueblo Reservoir.
Particularly in years where things were drier and maybe we were running out of good boatable flows before the middle of August or so. That was kind of the initial thinking that led to taking that recreational directive in the legislation and applying it to the river.
The Voluntary Flow Management Program allows us to manage the flows from July 1st to August 15th for a recreational flow of 700 CFS. And in the fall and the spring, we manage the flows to protect the fishery and ensure that the spawn and the fry are taken care of. Southeastern Water Conservancy District is one of the signatories on that, and what it does is it provides some benefit through the Frying Pan Arkansas project. I think the flow program is very unique in the state of Colorado in that it's really multifaceted. With the partnership that we have, it makes sure that we're looking out for both the fishery and the recreational component on a year-round basis.
Aside from the benefits to boating and fishing along the Arkansas River, a host of other activities has arisen. Hiking, rock climbing, wildlife viewing, and more captivate the human spirit thanks to the steady flows that have been created by the Fry-Ark project. Since the completion of Pueblo Reservoir in 1975, the Arkansas River Canyon has gained fame as a refuge of bighorn sheep, and Browns Canyon became a national monument. All of this grew around a river that is managed year-round for optimal flows.
The Arkansas River is probably the most popular whitewater river in this country, if not the world. And Browns Canyon is the most popular section of that. We probably get half of the use that happens on the Arkansas River in that section of the river.
And it's really good Class 3, Class 4, but it's really accessible to a lot of folks. You know, the trip's not for everybody, but most folks can find a time of year when the river's at the right level and you can get down and experience some really quality whitewater rafting.
It's also turned into a wonderful fishing river. We've just been designated 102 miles of gold medal fishery. So the fishing here is also spectacular. Then we have, you know, the 14ers, we've got climbing, we've got just hiking, we've got people that hunt and fish here, we've got all sorts of other kinds of recreational activities. So it's kind of a recreational mecca, this whole little part of the world. You know, you got the stingrays on one side and you got the mosquitoes on the other, and then the Sawatch Range, and so it's just a beautiful ranching valley, and I think that makes the whole area what it is, just the fact that it does have this beautiful valley in it, and then there's all these recreational activities that can happen all around it.
Those recreational opportunities originally envisioned in the Fry-Ark legislation are enhanced by Colorado Parks and Wildlife, which keeps the reservoir stocked with fish.
So we're the only cold, cool, and warm water hatchery in this state. So we do warm water, cold water, so we raise brown trout, rainbow trout, black crappie, bluegill, walleye, saugeye, sauger, wiper. This hatchery, all the other hatcheries around the state, are largely funded by angling dollars, the sales of fishing licenses. It's an enormous monetary input to our economy every year. You know, it's not just the guy going out and buying the fishing licenses, you're also buying gas and snacks and contributing to the local economy every time they go out. The Fry-Ark project put in place for the expansion of Turquoise Lake, the building of Twin Lake, Rudai Reservoir, Pueblo Reservoir, And so it's a variety of lakes, you know, Pueblo having a lot of warm water fish in it. And that's where the whole concept for the hatchery came into play, because they were like, okay, we've got all these lakes, where are we going to get the fish from? We're going to need to build a fish hatchery on top of stuff because it's enormously popular and it's a big contributor to the local economies.
So we spawn walleye at Pueblo Reservoir. It's one of our 3 brood lakes. This provides a critical resource for anglers. Walleye are probably the 2nd most popular fish species in Colorado, and without us doing this artificial spawn, we wouldn't have opportunities to stock these out across the landscape. This year our egg goal was 112 million eggs, and we collected that in 13 days. What we do is we set 32 gill nets on this lake every day. We go out with 2 boats and we pull those nets in. We pick the fish out of the net, put them in a tank. So we spawn the fish. That means we strip the milts and the eggs out of the males and the females. We put it into a pan, and then we add water, and that activates the fertilization. The eggs hatch in about 10 to 14 days, and once they hatch, about 1 or 2 days after hatching, then we stock them out like we did today.
There's a huge recreational aspect to the lake. It's a lot of visitorship. We get a lot of folks from up north. They come down. People like to joke it's the banana belt of Colorado.
The Fry-Ark project's recreational use is made possible because of reservoirs built to meet the needs of cities and farms for a wider purpose, and to manage the water in the Arkansas River in a way that benefits both the wildlife that lives here and the people that enjoy life on the river.
All this water is owned by somebody, and basically the cities and the ranching or farming communities think of the river as a pipeline going from one reservoir to the next or one container to the next, and they're just transporting the water. We're looking at it from the recreation side of it. We're trying to get the best benefit when they're moving it from point A to point B. And so we work very closely with them and try to all work together so that we can get the best bang for our buck. Because everybody understands, even the farming and the ranching communities and the municipalities understand that whitewater in Colorado is big business, and it brings a huge economic impact to this area. Tourism is huge here, and whitewater rafting is a huge part of tourism.